Hey Gentry.
What?
Why'd the scarecrow win an award? How come? Because he was outstanding in his field. And so are we today on another episode of Tractor Roy. I'm Trent. Today I noticed I have a flat on my tractor. We're going to start working on that first thing, and then we'll clean up the field and kind of get some of the equipment put away for winter. So I've had a lot of tires go flat, but this is the first time I've ever had a wheel start going flat. So the issue with this thing is I needed a tire, and I didn't have a 16-inch wheel, or a 16-inch tire that fit the original wheel for this. So we found a 15-inch wheel and then ground out this center hub, and it didn't ever fit quite right, so it started like stripping out these holes, and it loosened up, and then it pulled these bolts, the bolts through the steering knuckle. So I think I'm just going to take a bolt, a new one, go through it, and then stick a nut on the backside to kind of keep it on there. I'm going to take the wheel for now off of that parts tractor, just until I get the right wheels for it, I guess. So this one is a 1955 Allis Chalmers WD45. This is the first tractor I ever had. This is kind of what got me started in this stuff. My wife's grandpa gave it to me. Didn't run at the time. I've since rewired it, converted it to alternator and 12 volt instead of the generator and 6 volt. I had to put some new wheels on it. The old ones were all rotted out from the calcium chloride. Kind of rots away at wheels if the inner tubes start leaking. So this is the parts WD45. This one, it seems like it has a lot of stuff that's in better shape than the other one. The other one is sentimental. It was my wife's grandpa's, so we'll probably take some of the nicer stuff, like especially this grill. Yeah, the hood might be in a little better shape on this one. The other one has a big dent, but we'll probably take these and swap them onto the one I normally use. That way, keep that one looking nice. But this one, we're not going to just part out. It still has a lot of good bones to it. We just have to kind of fix some stuff up, figure out what it needs. So this is the wheel we're taking off to stick on the other tractor, at least until I get around to finding a new tire. Of course, I stuck this thing really close to the fence. Yeah, so I got a block of wood I'm going to throw under this front axle so I can set it on that. Ooh. See, it's moving already. So, on that other one, come over here. Okay, so on that other one, these holes are all threaded on these. So on the other one, these holes stripped through. So it's all open and exposed on the backside, so I can stick that lug bolt through here and stick a nut on the backside and hold the wheel on that way. Okay, that's off onto the other tractor. So here's the issue I had with this wheel. It was the right bolt pattern, but it didn't have the right center hub hole. I had to take a grinder and kind of cut it out, but I needed this tractor at the time to move it out of the way. So when I stuck these on there, it wasn't the right one, so the lug nuts loosened up a little bit and started wallowing out these holes. And this is the right wheel, right bolt pattern. This is off the parts tractor, but I do have another one of these that's meant for this tractor. I just don't have the right wheel for it. And here's our hub, our steering knuckle that's built onto the tractor. I could take it off of the parts tractor, but I kind of think that parts tractor is going to be a running tractor, so I don't want to do anything to it. So I have a couple options I could have done. I could go with this. I mean, this one's loose, but I could go with this, a bolt on the backside, then take a lug nut and stick it over the top and tighten it down. I could have taken my lug bolts, stuck them in here, stuck a nut on the backside with like either a lock nut or a lock washer. But what I'm going to do is drill out all the threads from this old one and then stick these studs in the back. So once I drill it out, I'll just pound them in so they're set tight, and then I can just use a regular lug nut like you would on a vehicle. And it should work out pretty well. So I'll stick a pipe wrench on the back side of that thing so I can hold it, so it shouldn't twist it. Ooh, and that one's already, see all the threads are gone out of that one. But let's see if my drill bit's big enough. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so all of our threads are drilled out. I got rid of that bolt that had been sheared off in there. When you start drilling those, especially on this, because it's an open backside, it'll just kind of turn it out once it loosens up. So that's the end of it that didn't get drilled. That's when it finally broke free of those threads. So now I got to stick this wheel on here. I'll stick the studs in from the backside, set the wheel on, tighten it up, and then I should be able to drive it on with the wheel, so then I can make sure that those studs get driven on straight. And then when I tighten it up, it should just suck it the rest of the way in, so that these splines start digging in, and that should hold us. Okay, so I've got 3 of the 5. These 2 still need seated a little bit more, and I'll show you what I'm doing. So this is the back side of the wheel. This one is one of the studs that's seated. You can see that shoulder is right up against the hub plate there, and then these 2 are sticking out. So I just have been hitting them with the hammer to just kind of help drive them in a little bit. I don't have an impact, so I can't pull it from the lug nut side, but this is working okay. Okay, this thing hasn't ran in a couple of months since I was done haying, so let's see how well it starts. Almost. Put this blade on a while. Okay, there's the blade that's on it. It used to just be bolted on, but I took it off because there's a bunch of extra weight and this doesn't have power steering on it. So now it's just 2 pins and the chain to hold the pivot. It makes it a lot nicer taking it off, less weight. What I want to do this next summer is pull this whole loader frame off and just run the tractor without anything for haying season. And this thing's a little goofy. How the hydraulics are ran is off of this ball valve right here, this gate valve. It's tied into the snap coupler lift arms. So you either run the snap coupler and this loader, or you can close that and just run the snap coupler. But you have to always be lifting the lift arms if you want the loader to work. So it's a little goofy. And that's what these are. So these are always going up and down. If I can convert it to 3-point like we did that D17, then I can use 3-point attachments on there. I already started by making some brackets for it. But the loader is still a little weird. So you can't have something on the back of this thing and using the loader. And then this is how it's controlled. That's neutral. So it doesn't have a detent on it. So that means it's dropping, that means it's raising. So if you hop off this thing and leave it, say there, then this loader will slowly start to rise even when you're trying to work on stuff, and it makes it a pain. And then if you go too much, then it starts dropping down like this. And if you panic and smack it, then it just drops it. Or if you panic and raise it, it lifts it up in the air. So this isn't a safe setup. It works, but it'll be better for just plowing like I'm gonna do, but it's not good for lifting stuff up in the air. Okay, so it's a couple days later, and it snowed a bunch. So the timing was perfect for getting this plow put on this tractor and getting that wheel fixed. I noticed my hydraulic fluid's low because I isolate this loader frame, and when I went to use it, it wouldn't lift it up high enough because when I was haying, I just didn't use this, so it didn't really matter how much fluid we would need. So we're gonna fill this up real quick and then do a little plowing. It was like negative 25, 27 this morning, so we'll see how this starts. It's warmed up a lot more this afternoon. I think it's, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 degrees above zero at least. Ooh, this is still pretty cold. See how this thing starts up. Thanks for watching this episode of Tractor Roy. Glad we got that tractor taken care of in just the nick of time. I'm going to leave you with some plowing, but hope you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.